Chapter 1: The Crash. The night sky over the Nevada desert was usually quiet, just stars, sand, and the occasional howl of coyotes. But tonight it was different. A streak of violet fire split the heavens, followed by a thunderous boom that rattled the windows of my isolated cabin. I dropped the book I was reading and bolted outside, squinting against the dust storm kicked up by the impact. A quarter-mile away, a smoking crater glowed with an eerie blue light. My heart pounded. This wasn't a meteor. Curiosity overpowered fear. I grabbed a flashlight and sprinted toward the wreckage. As I got closer, the air hummed with a strange energy, like static clinging to my skin. The crater was deep, and at its center lay a sleek silver pod, alien in design, covered in symbols that pulsed like living veins. Then the pod hissed open. A figure slumped forward, barely conscious. My breath caught. She was breathtaking. Tall, with luminous silver skin that shimmered like liquid metal. Her long, flowing hair the color of starlight. Her eyes, large, almond-shaped, and glowing a soft violet, locked onto mine. She gasped, clutching her side, where a dark, viscous liquid seeped through her fingers. Blood. Her lips parted, and though she spoke in a language I'd never heard, I understood her. "Help me. I have 12 hours. Then she collapsed into my arms. Chapter 2. The countdown begins. I carried her back to my cabin, her body lighter than I expected, as if she were made of something between flesh and energy. Laying her on my couch, I tried to assess her wound. The injury wasn't like anything I'd seen. A jagged, pulsing blackness spreading beneath her skin, like ink in water. She stirred, her eyes fluttering open. "You understand me," she whispered. I nodded. "How?" "Telepathic link temporary," she rasped. "I am Lysara. From the Andromeda system. My ship was attacked. I barely escaped." I swallowed hard. "Okay. How do I fix this?" I gestured to her wound. Her face twisted in pain. "There is only one way. My species. We are empathic. When mortally wounded, we must form a bond with another to stabilize our cellular structure. Without it, I will dissolve into energy within 12 of your hours." "A bond?" I frowned. "What kind of bond?" Her gaze held mine, intense and desperate. A deep, emotional connection. Trust. Intimacy. The stronger the bond, the faster I heal. My face burned. "You mean, like romance?" She nodded weakly. "If that is what you call it." I exhaled sharply. This was insane. An alien. A dying alien. And the only way to save her was to bond with her. But as I looked into her eyes, so full of fear, so alive, I knew I couldn't let her die. "Okay," I said. "Tell me what to do." Chapter 3: The Bonding. The next hours were a blur. Lysara explained that bonding wasn't just about words. It was about shared experiences, emotions, physical touch. We talked for hours. She told me about her homeworld, a planet of crystalline forests and floating cities. I told her about Earth, about loneliness, about the books I loved. With every story, the black veins receded slightly. But time was running out. As midnight approached, Lysara grew weaker. The wound pulsed angrily, resisting. "It's not enough," she gasped. "The bond, it needs to be deeper." I hesitated. "How?" She reached for my hand, her fingers intertwining with mine. A jolt of electricity shot up my arm. "Close your eyes," she whispered. I did. And then felt her. Not just her hand, but her mind. Memories flashed between us. Her first flight among the stars, my childhood by the ocean, her fear of dying here, my fear of being alone forever. Emotions surged, joy, sorrow, longing, until they blurred into something more. A warmth spread through me, and when I opened my eyes, Lysara's wound was sealing, her skin glowing brighter. She smiled. It worked. Chapter 4: The Choice. By dawn, Lysara was healed. But now we faced a new problem. My people will come for me, she said. They will find my pod's signal soon. I clenched my fists. So, you're leaving? She looked at me, her eyes filled with something I couldn't name. I do not wish to, but my world is at war. If I stay, they may come for Earth next. My chest ached. After everything, after feeling her soul, how could I just let her go? But then she touched my cheek. The bond we formed, it does not fade. Wherever I am, a part of me will always be with you. I swallowed hard. Will I ever see you again? She smiled softly. If the stars will it. Epilogue. A promise among the stars. That evening, another ship arrived. A massive, shimmering vessel that hovered silently above the desert. Lysara stood at its ramp, bathed in violet light. Thank you, she whispered in my mind one last time. Then she was gone. But sometimes on quiet nights, I look up at the sky and feel her, like a warmth in my chest, a whisper in the wind. And I know somewhere out there she's looking back. Final chapter. A farewell under the stars. The desert air was thick with tension as the alien ship descended, a colossal obsidian vessel humming with an otherworldly energy. Its smooth surface reflected the moonlight like liquid shadow, and a ramp extended toward the ground with a silent grace. Lysara stood beside me, her silver skin glowing faintly, her wound now fully healed. But the relief of her survival was overshadowed by the weight of what came next. They're here, she whispered. I swallowed hard, my throat tight. Do you have to go? She turned to me, her violet eyes shimmering with unspoken emotion. If I stay, my enemies will trace my energy signature to Earth. They will see your world as a threat, or a resource. Her fingers brushed mine, sending a familiar electric warmth through me. I cannot let that happen. The bond between us pulsed like a second heartbeat. I could still feel her fear, her resolve, her quiet sorrow. I don't want you to leave, I admitted, my voice rough. She stepped closer, her forehead nearly touching mine. Neither do I. But this bond, it transcends distance. Wherever I am, a part of me will always be with you. A gust of wind swept between us, carrying the scent of desert sage and something faintly metallic, like stardust. The ship's ramp glowed brighter, a silent summons. Lysara hesitated, then reached into the folds of her shimmering attire, withdrawing a small, crystalline pendant. It pulsed with the same violet light as her eyes. Take this, she said, pressing it into my palm. It resonates with the bond we share. When you hold it, you will feel me, and I will feel you. I clenched the pendant, its warmth seeping into my skin. Will I ever see you again? She smiled, soft, sad, and full of promise. The universe is vast, but bonds like ours are rare. If fate allows it, yes. Then, before I could say another word, she leaned in and kissed me. It wasn't like any kiss I'd ever known. It was light, like the brush of a solar flare, like the pull of a distant star. And for a single infinite moment, I felt her everywhere. Her memories, her hopes, the echo of her soul intertwining with mine. And then she pulled away. With one last lingering look, Lysara turned and walked toward the ship. The ramp retracted behind her, sealing her inside. The vessel hummed louder, then lifted soundlessly into the sky, shrinking until it was just another speck among the stars. I stood there, gripping the pendant, the desert suddenly colder in her absence. Epilogue. The echo of the bond. Months passed. Life returned to normal, or as normal as it could be after meeting an alien, bonding with her, and watching her disappear into the cosmos. I kept the pendant with me always, its pulse a quiet reminder that somewhere Lysara was alive. Then one night, as I sat on the porch staring at the sky, the pendant flared. A burst of violet light shot from it, forming a holographic image in the air before me. Lysara's face, clearer than memory. "I found a way," her voice whispered in my mind. "A way to return. Wait for me." The image faded, but my heart raced. I grinned up at the stars. She was coming back.